Okay, I'm gonna start from the same place as my last update, and you'll notice there's a table sitting on its side in the middle of the view, and that's because our porch up front is still getting fixed. The job that was supposed to take 5 days is now taking a month and probably will take, I don't know, another 2 weeks. So, anyways, on with the show. Our little planter here, I've decided to make this more herbs. Blackberries in there, they just always look pinky, so I cut them back. They're coming back again. But so here is some thyme from Tranquil from the bed, some large basil. I believe that is incisive right there. And that looks similar is a lemon balm. So we'll keep those on there, see how they do, change them out as need be. And then generally with the containers, I have less containers now because as I gradually emptied out the potatoes, I was putting them into the bed over there to fill up the next level of terrace there in a second. So I'm slowly, like this lemon tree, I've been shifting these over. This had my onions and some other things in it, some lettuces, and now we're gonna let the sweet potato have it. Keep that parsley in there and let it go to seed. So this is all pretty much sweet potato. There's one little lettuce plant left in there. Some more lemon balm. I just took the peas out of here yesterday. We had peas on the trellis, and again letting the sweet potatoes take it over. This is sort of a mixed bed. I still have some stuff, and I cut it all back recently, so there's not much to show, but there's one decent sized amaranth, another volunteer, and this is some chard. And then this guy right here has several things in it. I'll get down low. It's got some bunching onions and a bean. You don't remember, obviously, this is one in there. The cucumber, it's just starting to climb and get going. And then I have a Black Beauty cherry tomato, which is already up to the top of the trellis. So I think we're gonna be in trouble in terms of growth. It's just starting to set fruit. It's got a little bit on there, so that's cool. All right, and I'm gonna take you over to the greenhouse. By you, I mean me. Another lemon tree. That one doesn't look as happy, but it also hasn't been out as long. I have some baby tomatoes over here that I set out to harden off. There's one green zebra that I'm holding in reserve, and I believe these are all Romas that I took off of cuttings last time. And then here's a giant borage that volunteered itself, which is lovely, but taking the flowers off of it. And my volunteer apples, which are actually growing quite a lot. They look happier than they ever have. Shows you what a little bit of knowledge can do. And then inside the greenhouse, I've managed to plant out most things, but as you do, there's always ongoing stuff. So I have one more cuttings that I took that I think I did wrong because they look pretty dead. But you know, first time for everything. So more English thyme that I gotta find a home for. More Romas, I believe, that came from cuttings. 2 baby cabbages that I took out of the beds over there because they weren't gonna have time in the spot before I'm sure they started bolting. So I dug them up, and I'm probably gonna put them down low in the garden. Pomegranate tree, hanging on, not doing great. Another green zebra, a black cherry that I'm gonna need to find a spot for because it's getting quite large. Here is one of the peppers, I believe, a red pepper, or excuse me, purple pepper that I took out of the garden was getting eaten up, and it's starting to come back. I don't know if it'll ever do anything. And here's a Minnesota midget that I thinned out, and I just can't just cut them and throw them away. I don't know. And then these are my neighbor Walter left me some baby seedlings that were super stressed out. These were tomatoes, and you see how yellow and purple they are. So I decided to put them in a bigger pot and see if they would recover. And this is one of the peppers he sent. Same thing. We'll give it a second. And then some holdouts. Oh well, this is another one that I dug up to let it recover. It's a paprika. The slugs kept eating it down. And then my last celery clump that I put in here. I just transplanted some out yesterday, so I'm going to check on those in a minute. And these are actually tulips, and I haven't marked them yet, but they're just like tulip bulbs that have been sitting on the ground in the corner on the hill that I guess for me digging stuff around, or maybe animals dug them out. Anyway, they look perfectly fine, so I put them in pots and I'll find a place for them later. And then finally, this, also looking very happy and healthy. And I don't know why I've never marked my trees so I can remember which way around they are, but that may be the lime tree. It seems the happiest. So, oh, and we'll go out to the other pots as well. This one right here, Crystal Palace Lobelia, that's going to go in the area behind the air conditioning unit. And then this guy right here, these are Tulsies, and there's that little flower out. Too early for you guys.